Whoops. I accidentally hit end stream. I'm not sure where I got cut off, but... Alright, just looking at FC chat. Yeah, same time. Again, thank you for being here. Simcar, Naran, Potato Dialogue, Stuff Taylor, Dewata. I'll just make my way to the entrance of the 9. And I'll call it. We'll see how many raids we can do tomorrow. The chain of events that led to this moment began with my error. When out of mercy I confined you here. Now I break it and leave no trace of you behind. Wait, was he... Wait, I missed something. He's talking to his son, right? Yeah, now I break it and leave no trace of it behind. No, he's talking to... Sorry, he's talking to his creation. His other self. Here we go. This is not over! I see you will not go peacefully. Even a cast-off would uphold his pride. Though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hephaestus shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember the deeds of La Brea once I fulfill Athena's ambition and bring Erechthonios' dream to life. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Erechthonios, he knows not what his wish would beget, a truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? Well, he withheld information? Is that deceiving? My wish... You would claim the name Hephaestus and call yourself his father. Yet you bind his mind and body in dark chains. Your words and your pride ring hollow. Athena wanted her son by her side, and he desires to return there. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared not for Erechthonios, beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but 'tis plain you are no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vow that my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service to that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son, whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he is still my son, and I'll not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You, who are not but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. Mother. She... No, then who? How do I... What's dramatic to say here? Hearken to your... Listen to your heart? But say it in a cooler way. Hearken to your heart! And then the world ends because of that. Sure. I hear you. I owe you and Themis an apology. Athena, did you ever? And La Brea, I will have my say! Hey, learn how to break. Break! How? His mind was mine! I can't explain. Karen's words reached me through the haze. I thought it was... I've been practicing so hard I could see the weave and pluck it. But it's just... I can't explain. Our words of... You know, we are hype beasts. We are hype beast Karen. We're a hype bunny. That's what we are. I can't explain. Karen's words reached me through the haze. They rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. Oh. What? Ooh. How? When did you master these bonds? Oh, we've interred much worse. You worthless, you... Ah! So much for killing him. We interned him in... Wait, he gets his own stone? Okay. What? Whoa, wait a minute. That's how, So his reflection also bore a La Brea stone. So there are two La Brea? What? Okay, wait. It appears my failures have borne fruit after all. You did well, son. Boy. He also did run away from... Well, it is complicated. He also did... He thought he was handling it. It just messed Boy up even more, though. Where are we? Where are we, indeed? DNA? Pipes? With Hephaestus' essence contained in this crystal, we may safely return Erechthonios above. that he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You quite understand his adeptness in the art of internment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. You quite understated his adeptness in the art of internment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. Truth imperfect. Labreus looking at Erechthonios with concern. I feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind, and for a blessing, it appears your body is none the worse for wear. I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandemonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? So Athena, perhaps, like something. Well, there's one more patch. I wonder what's next. Athena? I see. Despite his muddled senses, Erechthonios felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course. It wasn't so noble as that. I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. La Brea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past? Indeed. He was naught but the parts of my memory and soul that I had cut away. A mass of ether without a material vessel. Storing his essence within a crystal was the most logical choice. Okay. So he did cut that part from him and put it into a container. But how did it become Hephaestus? On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale of Hephaestus' creation and Athena's end. Story time. I heard your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me? I would hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here and what drove Athena to act as she did. I am ready. Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the Words of La Brea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she that it was not unheard of for her to forget meals or even sleep. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in this endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means of creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can enhance and alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them. Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations. Such limitations as we were not meant to surpass. She sought to enter the realm of the gods. Actually, who were the gods of the Asians? Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such a task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. Oh? Bellanissima? Welcome to DGen Hours. I am Miku today. Nice to meet you, Bellanissima. Just testing this out for today. And I'm probably gonna be Miku for Final Fantasy XIV. But yes, this is Miku. I will be the mascot of this channel, and there will hopefully soon be more emotes for you guys to play around with. But welcome in, Belinissima. We have an ad break coming up in 1 minute and 45 seconds, so I'll probably stretch, drink a bit, and we'll continue the story for a bit longer until we get to the next raid point. Always great to have you, Belinissima. So, yeah, major spoilers for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We're just wrapping up patch 2 of the normal raids, and it's a lot of daddy issues. And now we're having a tell-all about the truth of the mother, and how she wasn't what her son thought she was. Ericthonio says, "For most, the thought would be an idle fancy, considered once and then discarded. Not so for Athena who wished to enter the realm of the gods and break through the secrets of life itself. As a leader of the words of La Brea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with a creation. The weaknesses of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other, and the result could be something greater than we have ever imagined." Oh, so chimeras, essentially? Alright, I'll see you soon after the ad break. Thank you guys for staying through the ad breaks. It helps disable pre-rolls for an hour for everyone else. If there's really an option to turn off ads, I would. But for those who are still there, I'll just take a super quick break while this ad is running. I'll run to the bathroom, get some water, and I will BRB. Good bot, we're back. So La Habrea was talking about, this is the tell-all, alright? So this is a very important moment. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking through that ad break. Nice to have you back, everyone. So La Habrea was just telling us about what Athena was planning to do to transcend their humanity, become as gods. It is during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with the creation. The weaknesses of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other, and the result could be something greater than we have ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail along the way. Our conversations became more frequent and our platonic relationship grew into something much more. Oh. I take it I was born not soon after. Just so. I believe she bore true affection for me and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandemonium was built and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishment as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandemonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise. And when you found out what she was doing, you killed her. I made haste to Pandemonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Agdistis to keep watch from Tartaros' vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. Definitely not platonic. As for what occurred next, 'tis best to see with your own eyes. I like how they can conjure memories. Jesus. Is that me? You are well aware that out of respect for our neighbors in Elpis, the researchers of Pandemonium are not to be masked. Wait. Yet you stand before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? What indeed? So quick you are to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in these halls since their inception. You must have known you could not conceal this from myself and Agdistis forever. As well you know that I cannot allow it to continue. I shall say this but once. Release Erechthonios, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down. I would meet my end at the hands of none other. However, ere my time has come, I will have you know the why of it. Then you will not desist. Once you understand what has driven me this far, you shall see that stopping was never an option. The feelings of one weigh little against the needs of the entire star. Oof. Of course, of that I am well aware. But you did not deign to descend from your lofty heights simply to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations. What possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great La Brea, to embark upon the path to her downfall? History will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Oh. Give me your hand, La Brea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever before. Wait, what? Okay, give me your hand, La Brea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever before. I thought... Sorry, I thought they were talking about sex. Never mind. It's... Impossible! You bonded your souls! Aye. That the boundaries between us would cease to be. She offered me everything. To be understood. We got a raid! At this time? Tego, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Miku. I'm a freelance bounty hunter, tabletop RPG game master, and variety streamer on Twitch. I'm taking over streaming duties from Mikey today for reasons. And also, I believe I will be taking over the Final Fantasy XIV streams for the foreseeable near future. But welcome in, my friends. If you've not checked out Tego lately, Tego streams. Tego also writes. Tego is a games journalist, has a lot of insightful commentary, and is always worth the watch. Please do go check them out. Welcome in, Defenestratin, and Nix with Coffee, long time no see. Or so Mikey says. But yes, Pandy Raids. We have been streaming for, like, I accidentally ended the stream, so the timer might not be correct. But we finished we finished the first 8. So there are 4 more to go. But I'll be doing that tomorrow at the same time. So now we're just going through the story, listening to the tell-all about, you know, the whole thing with Athena and everything. So for those who have not done this yet, huge spoilers. But I am very late to the party. I am trying to catch up to Dawntrail. So if there are any other fellow Final Fantasy XIV players out there, you know, add us up. Join us on the journey. And Dawntrail. This Friday, chat, we will be diving into Dawntrail. So I need to be ready. I have the raids remaining. P9 to 12 is fun. I'm actually not, like... Man. I don't know what to expect. Like, is Athena still... Like, please don't answer. I'm just speculating. Is Athena still out there? Like, what's going on? So... Because they're talking as if it's all done. We caged Hephaestus. We saved the sun. We're getting all the answers. Then what is 9 to 12? So I'm excited for that. And I still have to do the Alliance raids. So that's what we have left. Miku here has a big seat to fill. Hope you can manage the 5 to 8 hour streams Mikey does on the regular. Yeah. And I don't know what to say to that. It's already been more... I believe in total it has been 6 hours? Or 5? But anyway, we're continuing with the story. I've just been reading what Dad has been telling Son. The big reveal about who this was. Why is my cursor not showing? There we go. Brought a lot of sad memories So yeah, it's been fun. You've got time for sure. I hope so, like, because I also have the Elden Ring DLC to finish, you know. First world gamer problems. And Zenless Zone Zero is releasing also next week, chat. And I do want to get into that. Def want to know what you think about the voice acting. Oh, you had played this in the past, so you got up to Endwalker Final Fantasy Story Trial? Wait. Final Story Trial. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Final Story Trial. Oh boy. Def want to know what you think about the voice acting. What class are you playing? The voice acting in Endwalker? Well, I am playing on English, if that's anything. Waves are withering, Genshins are impacted, and now zones are zenless, indeed. And soon, there will be... trails will dawn on top of everything else. It's gonna be a great week. But it's cool that you got up to Endwalker. I'm excited for your journey. Will you be joining us for Dawntrail? But if you're asking about what I think about the voice acting for Final Fantasy XIV in general, in English, they recasted everyone from A Realm Reborn. Now, that's not to say A Realm Reborn was bad, but there really was a huge difference for me in terms of delivery when they recasted everyone, Heavensward moving forward. That's why for a lot of people, Heavensward was make or break. And for me, like, there were some characters I needed to get used to in general. Kind of like, well, no. You know what? Heavensward really was like a 180 for me. Like, I found it quite spotty, A Realm Reborn. Not only the pacing, well, mostly the pacing. The writing actually was not terrible. And since you're at Endwalker already, you will also understand that there was so much setup in A Realm Reborn, which is still relevant to today. Hell, these characters right now... okay, wait, major spoilers, but let's just say that A Realm Reborn, the seeds they planted are still sprouting today. And Heavensward, for me, it was the most intimate story. I felt most intimately connected to Heavensward. I liked how it began with, you know, kind of, you know, the Scions disbanded, and you and Alphino in the cold. It was such a mood, and you entering into this war-torn, you know, aesthetically very medieval fantasy. It was like, it was a huge change. And then once they started talking, I'm like, whoa, hey, wow, I'm getting invested in the acting here. So yeah, very well done to the English cast and the localization team. Still, Koji Fox heading the localization team. They've done a stellar job. Did they also tweak the script? There's usually a good reason to recast voices when there's an overhaul of the localization, something most major publishers aspire to these days. Like, tweak the script after recasting? I'm unaware of that. Like, I haven't watched many of the interviews. But aside from the voice acting change, the characters still were very consistent since A Realm Reborn. Like, there was no moment where I felt like, wait, this is kind of different. And everything followed through organically and came together quite well. Heavensward is the best story. It's the top of my ranks of FF14 ranks, X-Packs. Yeah, for me, it is really Heavensward and Shadowbringers. Like, I loved Endwalker. It is a great moment. It is the Avengers Endgame moment for Final Fantasy fans. Final Fantasy XIV fans specifically. And I love it for that. And it went hard. And I did cry a lot at Endwalker. But yeah, Heavensward for me, it was such an intimate story that my OC, my Warrior of Light's backstory, RP-wise, I rewrote it to fit into the Ishgard narrative. Because I just really fell in love with Ishgard and the story that they were telling there. Occasions where he and his team make weird additions. If I had a nickel for every time Koji Fox entered sexual... I'm not sure about this... Wait, sexual violence? Oh, are you talking about Final Fantasy 16? Well, I'm not sure how different it is from the... Oh, right. You see, I there's a reason why I did not like Stormblood. Stormblood is my least favorite expansion. I did not like what happened to Yotsuyu at all. Yeah, I did not like Stormblood. That's why, because... Oh yeah, Stormblood was a thing. I almost forgot about it. Yeah, well, Stormblood, yeah, that definitely I did not like. But yeah, Shadowbringers was a great comeback. And then from there, like Shadowbringers, you could really tell, okay, they now have a great handle over these characters, a strong main cast, and they just develop them even further. And the Shadowbringers, with the trust system and how each Scion dealt with the problems in the first, that is when I really felt that the Scions, you know, that was the spotlight on the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And then their victory lap was Endwalker, and it is great. Also note that a number of nickels greater than 2, would you believe? I don't believe it. It is difficult to believe. Wait, Arbert's VA had bills to pay and he came in so strong in post Heavensward. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Post Heavensward no, wait. Wait, was Ardbert in Heavensward already? Well, for those who know, like Ardbert's arc, my god. And man. Oh, Ardbert. Sorry, I hope I didn't miss anything, but again, thank you so much for the raid, everyone. And I totally forgot to introduce myself and what the channel's about. But I really appreciate you guys being here. We do like playing story-rich games over here, and Final Fantasy XIV is just one of many across a wide variety of genres. I'm coming back after a 2-year hiatus. I stopped in Endwalker, and over the weeks we've been tackling post-Endwalker patches because Dawntrail is upon us. It def feels like their treatment of female characters are a bit flimsy and not as consistent. Yes. I totally agree about that. For me, Final Fantasy XVI really dropped the ball with its female characters. Like, yeah, okay, the localization team, I don't know the difference between the Japanese and the English script, but there are also instances when they did, for example, Horschiffant. Horschiffant was a horn dog in Japanese, but the localization team turned him into best friend rather than super horn dog. And it is a very different Horschiffant, and you will have two parties who prefer Japanese Horschiffant versus localized English Horschiffant. But for me anyway, Final Fantasy XVI, I was really unhappy with how the team dealt with the female characters in 16. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm usually very... I mean, my threshold for it, like I can handle a lot of... How do I word this? Like, I can handle a lot of bad writing. My threshold for bad writing is probably quite high, but I was just very disappointed with many parts of 16. Okay, but Clive Rossfield, for me, amazing protag. I loved Clive, but they didn't know what to do with Jill. They did not know what to do with Benedicta. Benedicta reminded me so much of Yotsuyu that it really soured my mood, because I'm like, Benedicta's arc is like Yotsuyu all over again. So anyway, same creative team, same writing team, same localization team, but again, look, the science, there are some great females. There's great female science here, great female characters in 14. But yeah, you're absolutely right. 16, they dropped the ball on that. And Stormblood especially, I really was not a fan of it. Try playing lots of Western AAA games. You have high threshold for bad writing. Try wearing a corset. Anywho. You call him Michael Christopher Koji Fox when I want to send him to his room without supper. You always tell people you're the story-rich guy when I send them your way. I appreciate that, Tego. I mean, there are a lot of story-rich streamers out there, but so I really, really appreciate you guys like dropping by, hanging out, and spending your time with us in this little slice of the internet. Hope you feel welcome, and this is actually the first time you're meeting Miku, and this is the initial art of it, but Miku will be the basis for emotes and stories to come. It's a little project we've been working on. FF16 was that Game of Thrones inspired? Yeah, when they say it's Game of Thrones inspired, it's unfortunate that it comes with, yes, a lot of baggage. Yeah, they were like, yes, the most well, at least narratively, the women were the ones in power, but the shit they had to suffer through, it was just like edgy medieval fantasy, you know, because people have a certain perception of how medieval Europe was like, and we're not gonna lie, okay, history happened. History was not kind at all to many women, but you know, it's just not the story I want to experience often, you know. I don't want to be reminded of that fact. But yeah, but at least the women took power. But you know, the shit they had to suffer through and deal with to get there, yeah. I'm still going through FF16 at the moment, but I've been focused on DT prep. Yeah, Dawntrail. But hey, 16 was a fun game. I will say I enjoyed 16 as a fun game. It was a fun game. I did enjoy the story, but it peaked in the middle. And for me, I just personally was not a fan of the second half. Exactly. Female characters do not need to go through trauma to get their positions of power. That's why. It's a story they wanted to tell. It's not a story for everyone. And that's why I don't want to be reminded that, yes, there is precedent in history for that. But it just wasn't really a story that those are not the stories I look for. Alright. So, yeah, FF16, the second half of the story, man, I feel like they dropped the ball on that. But it was still a fun game to play. In the latest FF Travails, though, I am loving Final Fantasy XIV's direction. And I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That, for me, exceeded my expectations. Like, I enjoyed Remake, but I really, really enjoyed Rebirth. Inspired by the most superficial aspects of the Game of Thrones TV show and not inspired by the literal complexity. Yes! That's what made it so frustrating. It's like they took all the shock and awe and took it out on Benedicta and Jill and the other female characters in 16. And it's like, there are parts of Game of Thrones that are quite complex and layered and interesting as fantasy goes. But why do they have to take those parts, right? So yeah, well, thank you for bringing these up and sharing your thoughts on these things. I apologize to those who were just like Lab Reyes talking about his whole sob story and telling us about the truth of things. And yeah, I mean, we are winding down anyway. I'm just gonna get through these story quests, then we're gonna be stopping at the gate of the 9th raid, and I'll be continuing this like tomorrow. You get story risk, chat. Yeah, I need to balance it better, I will admit. But since these are not voiced, I do like reading everything. I have a fun time getting into character. So thank you for letting me indulge in this. So yeah. But yeah, that's a good, that is well said, Tego. Like, so you could also apply that, inspired by the most superficial aspects of Game of Thrones. In the same way, many parts of Game of Thrones were inspired by the most, not superficial, but what they think will make their story edgier by taking from terrible moments in history. Shakes Laha in my fist like a rat. Haha Brea, as we so affectionately call him. Alright, so what are you talking about again, Laha Brea? Right, Athena was going all, history will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, Laha Brea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever before. I thought she was inviting him for sex, but it was just a bonding of souls, which I guess could sound romantic, but I think it was a literal bonding of souls. Aye, that the boundaries between us would cease to be. She offered me everything to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment, my mind was a storm of questions, yet one roared the loudest. What roared? I'm sure something's roared. Did Athena ever truly love me? I am become thee, memory and mind. And I, thee. Oh, maybe this is Ashian sex. In front of their child, though. That's fucking weird. It is a melding of souls. There's nothing sexual in nature about that. Can you feel it? Feel what? My heart. All that this is Asari melding, right? In Mass Effect, this is pretty much like Asari melding. Mind melding? Mind fucking? You're gonna leap into bed with your 3 cats. Please pet the cats for us. Thank you again for the raid, Tego, and for sharing your thoughts on that. And yes, the Game of Thrones, it has inspired the most insipid aspects of 2010's prestige era TV shows, instead of doubling down on the strength of the ideas behind the books. Yeah, you know, we do take inspirations from many things, but, you know, we gotta be aware of what kind of inspirations we want to double down on or learn from, right? Sometimes we learn the wrong lessons. I mean, I'm not immune to that. Laha being like this in Endwalker and turning out how he did in ARR, it's wild, right? Like, yeah, like the Asians, Amon, Fandaniel, Laha Brea, and just like I said earlier, like, it may seem silly, like, after all the dailies we've done, defeating Laha Brea and listening to his monologue over and over and over. Oh, man. But apparently, everything in Our Realm Reborn is still relevant. Hell, everything from before Our Realm Reborn 1.0 is still relevant. Enter Club Azure. Alright, we're going back to soul melding the Asian way. My heart, all that I am. Did she love you? Haha Brea? Yes, as if it were my own. The face. A fathomless desire to dissect the mysteries of life. And look at his son's face, chat. It's like, a fathomless desire to dissect the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not a single thought spared for another, for the star. How disappointing. What? Well, this pillow talk is not going well. Yeah, Eric has the face of a kid learning this. Exactly. And apparently for the second time. I mean, kid Eric was probably unconscious, but it's... never mind. Soul melding, yeah. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You have beheld my life's work. Try as you might to excise the memory, the seed of desire remains. Sorry, just can't. She's talking about her plans, okay? And when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the self-same fervor. I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption in my soul ere your rotten insight spreads. He almost went mad. 'Twas my weakness that let this wickedness fester, but never again. Today I cast aside fickle emotion and abide in duty alone. Today I renounce all that I was, and I live only as La Brea. Ooh. What did he discover? What did she discover? Thus did I forsake the part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh. Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. To go to such lengths to escape your memories. You nearly rewrote your very existence. Rest assured, the change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues in the convocation. Ikeorm and Ametselk, in particular, made plain the suspicions they harbored. As well they should have. That you escaped with your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge that contained? Good question. I will not deny such considerations played into my decision, but my main motivation was fear. I had never attempted such a feat before. Ah, okay. It's kind of like a safety measure. The crystal was my sole recourse should something go awry with the remainder of my soul. In hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such measures, and prepared a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Smart. So the vessel came from Athena. I see. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty as a husband and a father should. Yet in truth, he was but a puppet being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires. His goal was not to raise himself high. He thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again, and that she might finish what she began. More puppets for Athena. Yet for all of that, he and I were alike. We yet shared a fatal flaw, you see. Our need for control blinded us to other perspectives. While I was enthralled to Hephaestus, you called out to me. What say you now? Does La Habrea speak true? Yes. No. Yes. Of course. He did promise. Yes, and it's now your turn to do the same. I'm just gonna repeat what I said to him when he was shackled. What does your heart tell you? I did tell him to hearken to his heart. Might not be very useful in this context, but you know, it needs to come from him. It needs to come from him so they can finally man the bridge. I just want to know one thing. Did you truly believe that hiding the truth was best for me? Even knowing how I felt about my mother? The La Brea I know had a fatal flaw, after all. I'm still not convinced. I have said all that I can say. Now it is for you to choose to believe me or not. Damn it. Okay, happy music. Alright, okay, yeah, the explanation. The La Habrea I know holds duty above all else. I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don that mask once more. So before we climb out of this forsaken pit, I suppose I should say, thank you, Hephaestus. Oh. Well, Hephaestus was far more than Hephaestus was far more than an imitation of La Habrea. He was quite literally a part of him. But La Habrea, to me, is a man who thinks of naught but his duty. By casting aside the burden that Hephaestus represented, he shall become ever more himself, in a way. I have said all that needs to be said. From this moment forward, I pledge that my heart shall not lead me astray. I've heard enough. There is more I would yet discuss, but we should first return to Pandemonium's gates. I'll gather my thoughts on the way. We have regained complete control of the facility, but it shall take some time yet, until things are in working order again. Athena viewed Erechthonios as the ideal test subject. Hephaestus' research must have been very nearly complete to seek him out like he did. I owe you an apology, Karen. It was due to my own experience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you thanks. If you and Themis hadn't chosen to brave the chaos occurring in Pandemonium, then I would have never known La Habrea's story. My father's story. 'Twas a tale I too was fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Azem upon my return. I cannot help but wonder how much of this she foresaw. I am afraid I cannot allow that, Elidibus. So long as you retain control of Pandemonium, there is work to be done. But of course, I shall first free the remaining warders and restore this place to its former glory. Using the facilities in Tartaros, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I shall stay behind to oversee the process. That as well, but I must yet learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus' experiments, and how he intended to revive Athena. Yeah, that's another good question. So I guess that's for 9 to 12. Such questions are best left unanswered. In fact, I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. Not even La Habrea remembers, right? Because he did tear that part away from his soul. And it's trapped. Well, they did just trap copy Hephaestus. La Brea. And I intend to... Okay, speaking of... And I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus' essence, that this mistake never again repeats. I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin until I saw the one containing Hephaestus' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were. There is another? Yeah, I forgot about that. It wanted to be whole, but the twin is in our timeline. While imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process, storing a message, a warning even, would be something altogether more complex. Wait, really? Wait, with the power the Asians have, they can't create I mean, never mind. This also means that someone besides the present company, Anazem, was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandemonium. Then why would they not make themselves known, even now? No threats remain. Perhaps it was one of the other warders. We shall question them after they are freed. That task may take some time, a resource I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure, and we will share our results then. You've done more than enough for the time being. I am of the same mind. Leave the loose ends to us, and continue upon your journey. Or if you are so inclined, take a much-needed repose. This talk of journeys smacks of Azem. As well it should. She has pledged to keep moving until she has seen every corner of the world. If you do find yourself with a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to La Habrea. He may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. Ah, yeah, but we sent the crystal with the researcher, though. I look forward to your returning with the crystal. But worry not, I shall try my level best to stave off loneliness while you are gone. Oh. As you may have noticed during our battle, La Habrea's mask crowns me when I transformed. Oh. It is said that we manifest in a way that reflects our innermost selves. I had thought that mask a symbol of the chains that bound my heart, but recent events have caused me to reconsider that assumption. The crystal that hangs from Eric Thonios' waist was a gift from me, made in the hopes that it would spark growth in his aptitude for magic. 'Tis plain he no longer requires it, but I see no reason he cannot wear it for a while longer. Okay. So this is the beginning of 9 to 12. Let's get a teaser for the next batch of quests. The next batch of raids. Why, if it isn't Karin, excuse me if I'm not my usual chipper self, but we have not been without difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudian commissioned for his research was lost some time ago, and now we have quite lost track of where he might be. Uh-oh. And to make matters worse, Nimgigi has just sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the ethereal sea. What? I was just on my way to the Itioscope, in fact. Please, you must come with me. Sir? We're back here. Wait, in Ethereal Sea, Athena should still be here then. In the same way that... The underworld? What? What is that? Is it real? Wait, no, that's pandemonium. Oh! Why is it that whenever danger visits the world, you are never far behind? Fortuno? Yep, Fortuno. And you two, Professor Claudian's assistants, I take it. 4Gs. Never heard of that nickname. As you arrived before me, I take it you are involved in this. I will thank you to furnish me with an explanation. Why did it come into our world? Our timeline. It is all part of the plan! We've been bamboozled. Oh, I did not expect that. We do need to close the loop. This whole time travel thing, right? While the research summary you submitted to the forum gave us no cause for concern, these details are alarming. Oh, right, we told them to spare details. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The professor's last message indicated that he was on his way to Azizla, but we know not whether he ever reached his destination. Good night, Vanua. Thank you for hanging out. We shall be heading to bed soon as well. We're just getting a teaser for the next course of events, and it is quite the teaser indeed. I'll see you around, Vanua. Take care. A rash endeavor, even for Claudian. But he has ever allowed a thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. We have no recourse but to entreat Ishgard's aid in searching for him. Oh no. Was it... It was probably Athena playing us this whole time. And now that we made Claudian, made her whole, she's back. As for the unsightly fortress which materialized in the ethereal sea, pandemonium, was it? It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled so as to minimize panic. We will gather those with knowledge of the ethereal sea and continue monitoring it for further irregularities. Quickly, call for trial. You two submit a detailed report to the forum at once. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time that our investigation has concluded. Very good. Now, if you will excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here. Uh-oh. Ding doo doo. By Master Fortunate's reaction to all this, one would think he is quite used to leading others through events of world-shattering import. I mean, how goes the investigation? Okay, with the professor absent. Oh, it's the same thing. Just when we needed him the most, Professor Claudian remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him. We are left with scarce few straws to grasp at. While I am but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are likely related. The same party or phenomenon may be responsible for both. Conversely, I see now that my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandemonium's pitiless spires justice. I can only wonder, if the facility itself traverses the ages, did the creations within do the same? What of the keywords? But answers to these questions shall come in time, I am sure. For now, I must do as Master Foshino asked and write that report. As for you, Karen, pray get what rest your responsibilities will allow. When next we call upon you, I wager we shall need you in prime condition. The vampire is here! Welcome in, the game vampire. We do look a bit different today. Happy time zone to you. Should be around like morning or afternoon, right? Well, happy time zone to you, the game vampire 13, my friends. Welcome in. And if you have not checked out the game vampire 13, plays a lot of retro games. Has an awesome energy. Just super awesome to just be around. Check out the game Vampire 13. 5 p.m. your time. Exactly 12 hours. It is 5 a.m. here. So as you can tell, we are winding down with a few more quests just to get to the next portion. We will be continuing this, the quest line tomorrow. But welcome in. Good afternoon to you. Almost good evening. Today we are Miku, and I am taking over streaming duties from Mikey for at least the Final Fantasy 14 streams. Yep, that 12-hour difference. Damn time zones. Eater of Souls. Okay. That sounds dangerous. Rusinod breathed a sigh of relief at your arrival. Ah, Karin, I had a feeling you would arrive soon. Urgent tidings always seem to carry you in their wake. After all, and Master Foshino recently sent word regarding his investigation. Such a gorgeous PNG, didn't get to say it. Thank you so much, Defenestrain. Of course, all credits go to Ozumi Wizard. And it was such a great coincidence. I stumbled upon Ozumi Wizard, an artist from the Philippines, who I had chance to meet already at a Final Fantasy 14 fan event. So it's kind of fate that I stumbled upon their VGen. They are currently open to commissions. I am very happy with the initial design of Miku, who will be the mascot for this channel. And also, they've done a lot of Warrior of Light commissions. So you will see a lot of a lot of fan ships. Whether Warrior of Lights with Emmet Selk, with Garaha. You know how we FF14 fans can be with our, with our fan ships. But yeah, they're currently open to commissions. They are actually very much in need of commissions. So if you wish for a commission of your own Warrior of Light, anything under the sun, and if you like this model, it's Azumi Wizard. So much thanks to Azumi Wizard. It's also our first time trying it out, just to get a feel for it. Because we do usually have a face cam. It's just today I wasn't really feeling it, among other things. So yeah, Miku's taking over. So yeah, thank you for that. I'm sure Azumi will appreciate the kind words. Rusino. What were we talking about again, Rusino? Ah, right. Uncovered information regarding Professor Claudian's whereabouts and the sudden appearance of pandemonium in the ethereal sea. We do well to meet with him at once. Okay, he's fine. Kind of. If we have no objections, I ask that you proceed to the Itoscope forthwith. I shall make the necessary arrangements and join you shortly. I did not expect this development. This is cool. I shall send word to Master Fochino of our departure. Make your way to the Itoscope and quickly. I'm afraid time isn't our ally in this matter. Yeah, yep, for sure. And they're currently very obsessed with Halcyon. You should check out their Halcyon fan art and Baldur's Gate 3. Super cool. Ad break. Sorry, I don't know if I caught you guys. 3 minutes. I'm sorry, we're taking an ad. We are taking an ad break. Don't worry, friends, you'll not be missing much. Again, we are testing out this ad schedule. Because we do want to disable pre-rolls for people who are not subscribed. Thank you for those who stay subscribed. No ads for you guys, but for everyone else, we do want to make it a smoother onboarding experience here at the Tabletop Cinema. So I really appreciate your patience. Thank you for the follow, Defenestratin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I'm not sure if you can hear us. Ad break. Thank you for the follow. Alright. Nimjiji. I shall do as Master Foshino commanded and compile a research before sending it before the forum. Paperwork of all manner has been my forte since before I was even a student. You can hear somehow still. I see the ads have avoided you. Well done. Well, actually, I did turn on banner ads. I hope, if ads are to exist, it is an inevitable part of being an affiliate. I hope it's the non-obtrusive banner ad, at least, if you have no ad blockers. Because I think Twitch has been experimenting with that. I did enable it. It's definitely less disruptive. Like, I think the ad appears as a banner below. And then that's it. At least you can still hear me. But I can't tell. So, yeah, just to be safe. But thank you for the follow. And that's the word I was looking for. Defenestrating. But here it's like defenestrating. Heck yeah. Thank you for the follow. Sometimes I think I should have stopped Professor Claudian from departing on his journey, even if I had to resort to force. He's a brilliant researcher to be sure, but at times like these I am reminded of how difficult he can be. While he is usually calm and collected in his methods, once he catches scent of a new discovery, he quite loses sight of his surroundings, and his opinions often become intractable. I'm sure that he departed upon his journey in high spirits, but I am afraid that his extreme focus might have made him throw caution to the winds. Even so, he is not one to falter in the face of unforeseen obstacles. Though I admit it becomes ever more difficult as the moments pass by, I must have faith that he will return unharmed. Good bot, Sari. Was this the question I asked? Yeah, okay. Proceed to the ethereal lens. Shoot. Right. Not the upper level, right? Mr. Scattern, I've been made aware of your coming. Please use the lift here. Lower levels, okay. And, you know, stuff like that. We're back to something that is established in the last expansion. No flying here? Fine. Yeah, it stands to reason that Athena's soul would still be there. Hell yeah, I do love my T-Rex. I am on Mount Roulette, but I like it when the T-Rex comes out. I do love dinosaurs. This, though, has the ultimate pet action. Look at that petting action. Torgal deserves all this. Good boy. Yeah, Torgal and Clive were like the best parts of it. Of 16. No, again, I did enjoy the first half. It just also confused me why, like, I love that Torgal got a lot of attention from Clive, but the whole arc about, you know, the awakening of Torgal's powers being related to Jill, it's like they took another thing away from Jill. I really wanted Jill to shine, but I don't know, they just whatever. Enter the Aetoscope with the party of NPCs. What? Oh no, passage to Aetoscope. They really shafted her. Like, her whole backstory with the islands that you visit, her homeland. She really deserved better. I'm so sorry. Wait. Oh, wait. It was pretty early. Oh, wait. Is Torgal... Uh-oh. Sorry, which part? With Torgal? Like, is Torgal... Like, what is the state of Torgal in 16? In your 16 playthrough? Ah! When Torgal awakened! Okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, Torgal transformed. Okay, again, it's been a while since I played. But there is, of course, lore behind that. But I will spare the details. I was just bemoaning the stuff they took away from Jill in the story. They took away her backstory spotlight, a chance to stand with the other heroes. And Torgal. Remember Baby Jill? Remember Baby Jill with Baby Torgal? They were like inseparable. And then, well, yeah, this isn't the spoiler, but like in the beginning, remember, like I thought Torgal was bonded with Jill. Because she was the one carrying Torgal around. And then suddenly, like, I mean, I love Clive and Torgal together, but maybe, was it supposed to be part of Jill's character arc that since she suffered so much in the war and was forced to kill people, that she was left with no emotions and she had to, like, did she even say one word to Torgal, or did she pet him at all? Anyway, definitely a different Jill. Adult Jill, of course, everything she went through. I was just always reminded about baby Jill with baby Torgal. Super adorable. Thank you for the hydrate and stretch, Nix. I guarantee I will do that. If I ever become a 3D model, then it will probably be clearer when I hydrate or stretch. Too bad Jill and Torgal were not a duo. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I thought they were supposed to be a duo, but apparently not. It was just like the... It was just one of the many things that I was just very... Like, I was really rooting for Jill, chat. Like, Jill was going... Like, she was easily, slowly becoming my favorite character. And then... They just forgot about her. Oh, well. But hey, 16 is a fun game. Again, I really felt the first half of the game was quite strong. But again, overall, compared to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I highly recommend diving into, like, even if you were like tired of 7, or maybe you weren't a fan of 7, Final Fantasy VII growing up, the remake and Rebirth, they handle the party so well. Like in 16, I felt totally solo. I mean, mechanically, yeah, we only control Clive, but I didn't feel like I was fighting in a party or I was in a party whatsoever. But in Remake and Rebirth, through mechanics and story and writing, it really felt like you were such an awesome party. Like the chemistry between the party members, the way it's reinforced through mechanics and the character moments that you see, and how the mechanics enhance those character moments and reflect it. Oh man. Again, I really, really loved Rebirth. And I really think it's worth visiting after 16. But I will say though, Clive, really, for me, really, really great protagonist. Why wouldn't you pet Torgal? Everyone should have. Yeah, maybe she was too traumatized to do so, or maybe it's one of those things where she locked all her emotions away and forgot about Torgal. It's still very sad. Torgal deserves all the pets, and Jill deserves to be happy. Rebirth, I'm excited to try for sure. Dawntrail will make... Oh, right! Ha! I almost forgot about that. This is why we're playing this! Dawntrail's releasing in 4 days for those who pre-ordered it. Oh, shit. Sorry. Fortuno, thank you for answering my summons with haste. Let us forego formalities and jump straight to the heart of the matter. Yeah, let's do that. Castle appeared. Namely, the whereabouts of Professor Claudian, who has not been seen since his ill-advised journey to Azizla. A subsequent expedition discovered an airship in the vicinity of the Aetherochemical Research Facility. I'm trying to remember where these places are. Azizla. Aetherochemical Research Facility. Although the vessel clearly belonged to the professor, he was nowhere to be found. There were signs that someone, perhaps the man himself, had forced their way into the facility, so this trail was duly followed. However, the trail led nowhere, in the most literal sense, 'Twas almost as if an entire sector of the facility had been wrested from existence. Whoa. Further investigation confirmed the expedition's party's suspicions. Nigh on an entire sector of Aziz La has been teleported elsewhere. Teleported? To where? What? We believe that its destination was none other than the Ethereal Sea. Here were its Allagan facilities reconstituted. Where? Its Allagan facilities reconstituted as the halls of Pandemonium. It's a great success, as you can see. Well, shit. So that means Professor Claudian is in there? In that monstrous fortress? That is our leading theory. We are certain enough, at least, to risk sending you into its depths in search of the missing man. Oh god. He was the right puppet for Athena's rebirth. God damn it. Well, again, I'm just predicting at this point. Yet before we do, there is another pressing matter. While Pandemonium may appear firmly sealed, an unknown entity was recently spied crawling forth from its gates. Oh, what? We observed its behavior with the Itioscope. And to our horror, witnessed it gorging upon the surrounding ether like a ravenous beast. What? It must be stopped! The Ethereal Sea harbors the souls of the departed. 'Tis the wellspring from which all creatures are born. If its flow were disturbed, life itself might cease to be. That's bad. Precisely. Its safety must be our first priority. Rid us of this menace, Karen. Then we will be at liberty to investigate what wicked machinations are afoot. This memory crystal was recovered from Claudian's airship. Take it with you. It may yet prove some insight into the enigma of Pandemonium. Memory crystal. Without Themis, there will be no army of phantom warriors. I realize you are more than capable in combat, but are you certain you'll be alright? MGG, we are... Wait, Themis isn't the only one who can summon our illusory ally. I do have the crystal, but as long as I'm free to focus on my foe, there's not to worry about. I thought it would be... We're in our timeline. We have our friends. You can just call our adventuring buddies on Link Pearl. But okay. Themis isn't the only one who can summon our illusory allies. Is it? Why, of course. I should have known someone of your talents would master even the ancient's arcane arts. Apologies for my failure of imagination. You don't have to be sorry, MGG. Nothing to be sorry about. Once we are freed of the looming spectre of Pandemonium, you must promise to share your knowledge. For the sake of thorough reports, of course. In the meanwhile, I shall focus my efforts on providing you with what information and support I can. You know, yeah, actually, I would like a detailed report. It has been a while. I do know we were granted Azem's crystal, but we've just been using it like summoning candy. Like, it's an instant gateway for 7 of our companions to just port through. It seems to have unlimited uses. Maybe until the plot decides that it's not needed. I know it's like a narrative explanation for summoning your companions into a dungeon or a raid, but I wonder if it does have limits, or if it really is like a special power from Azem granted to us because of our possession of the crystal. Most likely, right? And since we are, like, we do have like Ardbert as well. Yeah, we're special. I shall gather researchers from the confluence to construct the means to convey you to your destination. The rest is in your hands. Nick's awesome to see you again. Thank you for dropping by with Matthew's raid. I definitely will pass your regards to everyone else, to Mikey and the cats. That is also our cue to end. We did, okay, yeah, perfect timing. We also will be calling it a night. I will be doing this the same time tomorrow. It'll be me again, Miku, taking over the stream for FF14. And I'll be jumping back in with my guildmates to finish the last batch of normal raids. And if there is time, we'll be doing the Alliance raids. So that might be shorter. We'll play it by ear. But priority is getting this done. I'm very interested to see what lies in Stage 9 to 12. I did not expect this development in the Ethereal Sea, so that's cool. But thank you for joining me for the first time as Miku. It was a long day, but the story kept me going. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's find someone to raid. If anyone I know is raiding at these hours, DJ hours. I will pet the kitties for sure. Okay, Uchiha Roshi is playing Stellar Blade. Ultra Average Gamer is playing Lies of P. Rakukiro is doing art. Dimbly is just chatting. Daniel Wayne is playing chess. Ooh. Actually, I want to see this. Okay, we're gonna read Uchiha Roshi. Uchiha Roshi has super great cozy vibes. They're about to finish Stellar Blade. I do want to see the outcome of that. And Uchiha Roshi is also, as you will see from their description, big Final Fantasy 14 Final Fantasy fan as well. So fellow Warrior of Light, I believe. Thank you everyone for joining us for this, for Miku's debut, I guess. But really, we're just continuing our Endwalker Dawntrail catch-up. And for anyone who may be lurking, if you did enjoy this content, please consider hitting that follow button and checking us out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. Our raid messages are as follows, and we'll be raiding out to Uchiha Roshi, a fellow Warrior of Light, and a super cozy place to hang out in. Thank you everyone for being here, and as always, welcome to the table. Have a great day, and I'll see you all on the next adventure. Bye-bye.